All right, what's good, y'all? Now, recently, the Portland Trailblazers have hired Chauncey Billups to be the next head coach for Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. But honestly, being that, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be Chauncey Billups' first time being a head coach. And they're making him the coach of the Portland Trailblazers, saying that there's something that can change with Damian Lillard and then not getting beat second round. If it were me, I'm blowing up the team. But anyways, let's just get into this video.
I look good though.
Over the weekend, the Blazers hired Chauncey Billups as their head coach. He was one of the names previously endorsed by Damian Lillard, of course. Now, there was some backlash online for Lillard. Dame said he was not aware of previous allegations against Chauncey Billups, which, by the way, no.
Oh yeah, those are allegations. People, I don't want to go on a tangent, but when people see allegations, they accept them as facts and truths. That junk gets on my nerves. Not saying he didn't do it. I don't have the evidence, but just because you hear something doesn't make it true.
Charges were ever brought. Important to keep saying that. Yesterday, Yahoo Sports reported that the backlash to Lillard, along with his concerns of whether a title team can be built in Portland, are factors that could lead him to ask out eventually. Richard, that is a lot. How can the Blazers keep Dame happy?
Well, one, I want to talk about the backlash.
Before before the Skittles man talks, the Skittles man talks. The Blazers aren't going to be able to keep Dame happy. But unfortunately, because Damian Lillard can't make his mind up, he's going to end up staying with the Portland Trailblazers, unless the Portland Trailblazers just do something drastic and just blow up the team anyway, which I think they should do. But Damian Lillard, he has a problem with being too loyal. So when you have that problem, you're not going to be able to get out of situations that you need to get out of. That's like you having a friend, and you know the friend is doing bad, but you're going to stick with them anyway. That's stupidity to me.
One, Dame gets asked a question. These are names that were out in the coaching search. Like Dame, like you are too good to allow. I saw one of his interactions and that he like quote tweeted the person is a Raptors fan. Don't let somebody that's not in your house dictate what goes on in your house.
Shoot, he about to leave his house though.
And so from that standpoint, you should really just focus in on what's going on within the Portland Trailblazer community. In my opinion, the next step about it is, what does he think about this hire, right? If you're worried about the backlash, that's one thing. If you're worried about can they build a championship contender, now we're talking about real tangible stuff. And I think they have the talent. I think they have the fan base. I think they have all the things necessary. They're just one or two pieces away, and I think that's what they need to focus on.
Well, RJ,
No, I don't think they're one or two pieces away. Because it's like, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get? Like, maybe the Trailblazers got like, I don't even know, Jason Tatum or something. Like they need a superstar for them to get over the edge. Because Damian Lillard, he's not a superstar. He's like in between. He's a tweener between like an all-star and a superstar. Because he hasn't been able to get over the edge when it comes to the playoffs, at least. He hasn't been able to break that barrier to get to the third round.
disagree with you on one point because everybody handles things differently,
Agreed.
right? So you may keep quiet. Dame is the guy that's outspoken, right? He has albums.
Sometimes if you're outspoken, sometimes you just need to shut up. Sorry. There's some things you don't need to be outspoken about. And that's not just name that goes across the board, including Kyrie Irving.
That he's dropped. We
Yeah.
watched them go back and forth with Shaquille O'Neal on a rap battle. So Dame is not going to hold back. You come at Dame, he's going to come at you. Now, you're right. The organization asked him who he wanted, and he put two names out there, J. Kidd and Chauncey Billups. Here's the thing. I do think
You got Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups. My thing is, what are they going to do for you? Jason Kidd, he's actually been a head coach before. I remember when he was coaching on the Bucks. But you're getting Chauncey Billups. Like, no disrespect to him, this is going to be his first time coaching. And you're trying to get over the hump? That's not a wise decision. But the Trailblazers are hiring him just so that way they can keep Dame happy, essentially. I'll put it like that.
They can get better. I do think that they could make Dame happy for the simple fact that a new voice in the locker room changes everything. We just witnessed that with the Atlanta Hawks.
That's what
they got rid of Coach Lloyd. All of a sudden, Coach Nate McMillan comes in.
Clippers.
The Clippers. The Hawks start playing completely different. Trae Young started playing completely different.
Yeah, but what are the odds of having an assistant coach who's never been a head coach before making a complete difference? Like, I just don't see it. Oh, and on Trae Young, y'all gonna hate me for this. I know it. Trae Young's better than Damian Lillard and Luka. He has a greater impact than both of them. I had to point that out real quick.
Agenda-free basketball. You need someone like Chauncey that's going to be able to hold these guys accountable on the defensive side of things. Remember, the Portland Trailblazers couldn't guard a caged dog. They ranked close.
You got Damian Lillard, who's 6'2", 6'3" on a good day. McCollum, who's 6'3", maybe 6'4", but he's not 6'5". Then you got Carmelo Anthony, who's known for not being able to play defense. All he wanted to do was shoot the ball. I mean, come on, man.
The dead last defensively. They did. They never struggled with scoring. They just couldn't guard anybody. So you bring Chauncey in there. What can you tell Chauncey if he holds somebody accountable? He could go toe-to-toe with Dame.
Yeah.
Right? He could go toe-to-toe with CJ.
I don't know about that. I mean, as a player, yeah, from a player to player. But Chauncey's the coach. He doesn't have the notoriety as a coach for him to go head-to-head with Dame or CJ. It's his first time being a head coach.
He could get the best out of Big Nurkic and say, don't ask for the ball on the block. Do your job. Rebound, block shots, roll to the basket.
Well, I agree. I completely agree. I just, when I was...
Yes, but they're keeping the same team. You got to move somebody. If you're going to move CJ, what are you going to get back to him? Or get back for him? Like, I can't think of any superstar caliber players that you can get for CJ or Nurkic. Like, I really can't think of any, to be honest with you.
Referencing not Dame to not be outspoken, but it's just like, you don't let people worry. Do I ever give you advice on what's going on inside your home if you didn't ask me? No, exactly. So that's all I'm saying.
It's not our home, Mark.
It is, but that.
Yeah, but sometimes you do need outside noise. Or how about this? He needs to listen to the people close within the circle, and Dame needs to get out of there. Now, this is according to Stephen A. Smith. Everyone in his closest circle, whether it be his uncle, all his other family and friends, telling him to get out of Portland. But Damian Lillard is choosing to stay. Like he's I can't say it on here, but he's causing his own demise. There we go. I'll say that. He's causing his own demise when it comes to him as a player. I mean, you can be loyal all you want, but it's a business. You got to make the moves that are best for you.
But that is his home. When you're dealing with outrage on Twitter, which we all know about is a very slippery slope, I don't want to hear it from a Raptors fan that like this. And so like that was my.
Okay, then get off Twitter. Why are you listening to Twitter then? Then get off Twitter. It's not that hard. Oh, a Raptors fan is telling me about what I should do in Portland. Okay, if you're that upset, there's a block button. There you go.
Thing about the outrage, sometimes we got to take that with a grain of salt.
I do think that coaching can really change a roster, even quote the same roster. The Atlanta Hawks are a fantastic example. This is a team that wasn't even in playoff bracket contention months into the regular season, and then suddenly they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. And you can see, too, it kind of puts the lie to, oh, if that guy was on someone's staff, because, again, the Clippers and Hawks are great examples that there can be a coaching shift even when someone's on that staff. Chauncey Billups, to me, is a Hall of Famer. I think he should be in the Hall.
Preach.
I watched that man up close win a Finals MVP. He is a leader. He is someone that I watch now on the Clippers. He has changed the game of several players. He has been teaching Paul George to play point guard. I think that there are so many.
Yes, but you listen. Aside from Paul George being taught how to play point guard, and even that, just put Rondo in the game. That's another story for another day. But even still, that's one thing he did as an assistant coach, not as a head coach, but an assistant coach. Like, what offenses is he going to run? What defense? Like, are you switching on pick and rolls? Are you dropping? Are you icing? It's a lot of stuff that goes into being a head coach, especially for him being a head coach for the first time.
Things that Chauncey is going to bring to the table.
It's like you're expecting too much out of him. Because then, let's say they don't make, let's say they don't even make the playoffs, or they just barely get by, and they're out the first round. Chauncey Billups is fired.
That Dame specifically and that whole team in general will really, really respond to. I'm excited to see what happens
here.
It's gonna
be fun.
I do think they're going to need some help from the front office, and I'm curious to see what the front office does for them, because the roster does need some upgrading, and we'll see if they can, work the magic there. We'll have to find out.
But anyways, I don't think Chauncey Billups. I don't think a coach can put you over the edge like that. Shoot. Maybe with the Trae Young situation, I could be wrong, but I thought Trae Young's coach, I forgot his name. I thought he's been a head coach before, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Otherwise, though, well, if Chauncey Billups fails and doesn't get them past the third round, or they get swept the first round, Chauncey Billups is fired, and the blame's gonna go, oh, Chauncey Billups didn't do this, he didn't do that. But again, it's all on Damian Lillard. Why are you staying in a place that's not serving you anything? Like, it's literally stunning your growth right now. If you ask for a trade and get out of there, you might actually get that ring you want if you truly want it. Now, if you just want to be a player, put up some big stats every year, but never really was that superstar per se, then go ahead, stay in Portland. But anyways, that's about it on this one, man. Make sure y'all hit up the IG, Young Swift 2, and make sure y'all check out the podcast. Link in the description down below. Anyways, that's it on this one.